Welcome to the introduction party for InterSystems IRIS Adaptive Analytics. I want to acknowledge right up front that the term data-driven is way overused. However, the businesses and organizations that I talk to either believe they already are or want to be more data-driven. When you're working with large volumes of data and a proliferation of tools, this becomes difficult to do at scale, and most organizations are struggling with this as we speak. InterSystems is a recognized leader in online transactional data processing and analytics, and with this introduction, we're extending our experience to data warehouse environments that have significant requirements for analytical workloads at scale. What I'm asking you to do in this session is to understand what this offer is and why it could be significant for you in chasing that goal of being data-driven decision makers. And feel free to use the Q&A bar too. My name's Carmen Logue, and I'm a product manager on the InterSystems IRIS data platform team. We're very excited about this announcement, as you've probably already picked up. I'm going to presume that you're attending this session because your interest was piqued either at one of the keynote sessions or by the press release that came out last week. The main goal of this session is to provide additional background about this announcement so that you can begin to consider whether and how this new option is a fit for your organization. We're announcing a new option for our IRIS and IRIS for Health platforms that will bring significant advantages to our analytics consumers, particularly those who work with very large amounts of data. Now, I've been at InterSystems for a little over a year and a half, and I continue to be impressed with the commitment of the organization to some of the kind of core values that we have in the product of speed, scale, security, and led by the WRC, the ethic of customer service. This offer that I'm talking about today really extends a lot of those same benefits all the way out to our third-party analytics end users. Adaptive Analytics is really a layer in between InterSystems IRIS and the analytics consumers that provide a common analytical data model and the ability to do performance tuning based on the kinds of questions that are being asked by those end consumers. Now, who are those end users? While much of this announcement is focused on that left-hand side of the screen, for those using tools like Power BI or Tableau or even the old faithful Excel, my favorite, which is still probably the most prevalent analytics tool, we believe that the Adaptive Analytics offer, combined with some of the other investments that we're making in InterSystems IRIS, provides benefits across this entire set of roles. These are the highly technical users who may or may not need to understand the underlying data structure and can benefit from a more business-friendly data model. Before I go too much further with Adaptive Analytics, let me remind you of our existing product, InterSystems IRIS Business Intelligence, or what many of you knew as Deep Sea, which is also targeted really on that left side of that roll screen that I just passed. InterSystems IRIS BI allows our customers and partners to embed analytics into their products. It's also built very close to the data, so has some real distinct advantages when fast updates are required. InterSystems IRIS BI provides the ability to build physical data cubes, data models with defined measures and dimensions, as well as calculated measures and advanced drill downs. It also enables the development of pivot tables for exploration and then allows you to display that data in dashboards. So in many ways, InterSystems IRIS BI is doing the job of several tools. It's an excellent fit for those who need to embed analytics in an application and continues to be an important part of InterSystems IRIS. This new Adaptive Analytics option complements that functionality in IRIS by allowing us to really address different use cases. With InterSystems IRIS BI, we design and build those physical cubes, which means the data is organized by dimensions and measures defined so that they can be accessed quickly, presuming the types of queries are known when the cube was designed. InterSystems IRIS BI is a good fit for cases where either the data model doesn't change all that frequently or the size of the data is not too large, and in cases where embedded visualization into the application is a requirement. This solution serves us well in those use cases, and we will continue to make investments in IRIS BI In addition, we continue to provide access for third-party tools via JDBC and ODBC. The reason for extending our offer with Adaptive Analytics is that we found that there are cases with very large data sets combined with the need to support analytics and BI end users that we really need some additional capabilities. With Adaptive Analytics, we're enabling InterSystems IRIS to handle the demands of analytic and transactional use cases really at any scale. To expedite our time to market for the solution, we're partnering with a fantastic company named AtScale, who is focused entirely on bringing that flexibility and scalability to BI and analytics consumers. This solution complements our existing solution so that we expect to have cases where InterSystems IRIS BI is in place, others where advanced analytics is in place, and actually some cases where both will be required. Now let's talk a little more about what's under the hood with Adaptive Analytics. As you can see by that blue bar, there's a layer in between the InterSystems IRIS SQL and our third-party BI consumers. The Adaptive Analytics layer provides a user interface for developing a virtual cube, which when you're designing it looks a lot like a physical cube with measures and dimension, but it does not actually build the cube in contrast. In this virtual cube, you can organize the data, define calculated measures, and name things so that the BI users don't need to understand the underlying data structures to do what they need to do. In addition, this Adaptive Analytics layer communicates with BI tools in their languages, either SQL or MDX, and translates that to SQL for IRIS. When the query comes in, the Adaptive Analytics layer can create an aggregation that's also stored in IRIS, so everything is staying in IRIS, in order to improve the next equivalent kind of query that comes from any tool. So that means that someone using Excel, by the kind of question that they ask, can eventually improve things for the Tableau user who comes next and asks a similar question. This Adaptive Analytics layer will also leverage the speed and power of InterSystems IRIS to ensure that the aggregations that are created are as effective as possible. So now let's break down the key benefits of Adaptive Analytics. By using a virtual cube, this means that changes can be performed quickly and made available almost immediately to end users and business intelligence users without the need to rebuild. It also means that end users access a common data model and a common set of data definitions without the need to rebuild that data model for each BI tool, or even create that data model for each tool. Rather than extracting the data into a BI tool, Adaptive Analytics speaks the language of the BI tool, for example, creating a TDS file for Tableau, which keeps the data in IRIS and provides tight integration with the BI tools that our customers use. For data warehouse type scenarios, Adaptive Analytics will enable InterSystems IRIS to scale for the analytics end users, including the improvements gained by essentially watching what gets asked. So in contrast to what we do with InterSystems IRIS BI, where we pre-build the cube with the kinds of queries in mind so that they can be very fast, with Adaptive Analytics, we let the ad hoc queries from those third-party BI tools guide what needs to be built, and when we need to cache pre-aggregates in IRIS to respond to a question that's continually asked or asked multiple times. So let's use a fictional example to demonstrate the benefits of InterSystems IRIS and Adaptive Analytics. Let's imagine an organization that has volumes and volumes of data. The one that comes to my mind is the laboratory organization that's managing coronavirus test results for my son's university. Now, they're a fictional organization that's been around for more than 20 years, and prior to the coronavirus, they took in thousands of test results a day. Because they've been around for a while, some of that data is stored on mainframes and in older formats that they're required to keep, and sometimes they actually still need to look back that far. Once the coronavirus pandemic hit earlier this year, they had to quickly adjust to a whole new set of tests, a whole new set of test results, and a whole new set of reporting requirements, as well as responding to college administrators, college students, and nervous parents like me. In a case like this, InterSystems IRIS can be used as an interim data warehouse for that legacy data. As you know, we're great at bringing in data from other systems and bringing them into IRIS. And they could enable a new high-volume application that required both transactional and analytic workloads with the new coronavirus testing. So with Adaptive Analytics combined with InterSystems IRIS, they have a solution that fits for them. Now let me share some timing information with you. Adaptive Analytics will be available as an addition to our database platform solutions early next year. Product availability is planned by the end of March and will ship with release 2020.1 as a prerequisite. However, we're interested in talking to potential early adopter customers and partners now, so please contact me with the contact information at the end of this session for more information. So to wrap things up, we're announcing a new offer to allow analytics and BI users to scale along with the transactional workloads that InterSystems IRIS provides. We've gone through the benefits and why we believe that Adaptive Analytics offer really rounds out InterSystems IRIS for both of those types of workloads and serves the analytics and BI end users. We're really enthusiastic about this new offer, and I hope that you are too, or at least have a few more questions. Please stay tuned for more information over the coming months and enjoy the rest of the virtual summit. I'd recommend a couple of additional sessions to attend, one where you can see a demonstration of the Adaptive Analytics solution, and another one that talks a little bit more about data warehousing. Thank you very much.